main event athletes, Dave Chaffee, Devon Larratt. You guys have obviously had a lot to say about each other when you've been poles apart, but you're now here together at King of the Table. Some of what you said has been pretty personal. How do you feel sat together? Is there any regrets, or do you think fair's fair?
I mean, he doesn't arm wrestle fair, if that's what you're asking. You know?
We just actually watched a video that completely proves the opposite.
You pull is unbelievable.
Dude, you are begging for the referee's assistance every single chance
sit there
you
like
get.
this.
You are unwilling to fight
Ref's
me.
grip and
Listen,
you're
I don't
just
even
like,
need a ref. We can sort it out.
Of course you don't need a ref.
No.
You don't use one anyways. You don't follow the rules.
Dave, you ask and beg. It's like, please help me. Please help me. I'm just willing to fight.
Where in that video was I asking or begging anybody?
Foul him out, Bart. Foul him out.
You could have fouled
Direct
out 40,
quote.
40
Direct
times.
quote.
45. Because I wanted you just to get on the table and pull.
We're gonna fight on Saturday. Okay, you're gonna beg for help, but ultimately it's not gonna come. It's gonna be you and me.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't wait. I can't wait.
How do you guys see it going in the setup? You think Bill Collins is going to have his work cut out? Obviously, we know Devon talks a lot usually in the setup, but it's important. How are you expecting that to go?
Yeah, of course he's going to have his work cut out. Any match that Devon's involved in, there's like a production. There's got to be 38 minutes of nonsense, and I won't do this. I won't do this. I got to get every advantage possible. So yeah, Bill definitely has his hands cut out for him, but he's a great referee, and I think he'll do really good job.
I'm not really concerned about the reffing.
Yeah, shocker.
I'm not. Like I think that it's a non. Like so long as we're treated fairly, you know, so long as he looks at me the same way he looks at you without bias, so long as he doesn't come into it like, you know, I'll tell you something.
You think Bill was biased?
I'm gonna tell you something. He made a little Facebook post. Did you see that?
No.
You didn't see it?
No.
I didn't really like it.
What
Tell
did
you
he
the
say?
truth. Well, right away when the match was announced, he posted how one of the guys liked to mess with the referee, and you know, I don't know. It's a
Well, it's
referee.
probably just an honest post. It sounds like an honest post.
Well, to me, it screams bias. But listen, it doesn't matter. Last time you had 5 referees all pulling on my arm, and I still beat you.
Get out of here.
It's true.
We watched the match. It was
Yeah, I
3-1
know,
if
we
you
just
watch
watched.
it. I mean, it was, you know,
Should have been 3-0.
3-0.
Should have been 3-0 for me.
My way. That's how it should have went. We just watched the video.
Dave, the thing is we both know there's a destiny here. We both know it.
I guess we'll find out what the
We
destiny is
both.
Saturday. Then
We don't even need to find out. I know that you know that I've already beat you.
Well, we'll see.
Oh, sure.
We'll see who can count to 4.
Well, we know that.
Yeah.
Can you do it?
We'll see.
Can you count to 4?
Saturday, I'll count to 4.
I want to hear you.
I'll learn
Why
by
don't you do a
Saturday.
practice run
I'll
right
learn
now
by Saturday. Yeah.
for the camera?
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro.
Oh, Dave, that's very impressive. You're learning, Dave. It's really good.
So you guys are in a similar boat in that you're both top 10 in the world, wherever people want to put you in the rankings. Dave, you had a great win over Vitali. Devon, you had a very convincing win over Prudnik. But then, of course, you both come here off the back of losses against, obviously, elite opponents. Do you feel that's put a lot more pressure on both of you? Because, obviously, you don't want too many losses at that level. You're looking to gain momentum. So to have back-to-back losses, does that put more pressure on you, Dave, do you think, or on Devon?
It's happened to me before, so I'm kind of used to it. I'll take a couple losses and get a big win. I pull a lot of matches, so you go through different injuries, and sometimes you're more prepared than other matches. But it's definitely going to put pressure on both of us because nobody obviously wants to take 2 losses in a row. Unfortunately, Devon's going to find out what that is like tomorrow.
It'll be a first for me.
Saturday.
I don't think I've ever taken 2 losses in a row. I don't think ever.
Well, you only pulled like nobody's for years, so I
don't think it's ever
you don't
happened.
Pull anybody
I don't think
for
I've
the
ever
longest
taken
time,
2
of
losses
course.
in a row.
When you
Doesn't happen.
for the first
Doesn't
15
happen,
years of
Dave.
your
I
career.
don't lose 2 in a row.
pulling local
You know
Canadian
what's
tournaments and
funny
stuff,
though?
so.
Like the neat thing about you, I don't know what it is. Is it a phenomena? Maybe call it the Dave Chaffee phenomena. Is when you lose, somehow you sometimes even go up in ranking. Have you noticed that?
I don't pay attention to the
Oh
rankings.
yeah,
I
it's
don't know.
wild, man. It's wild. It's like there's these people who just have their shields on about you, and it's like no matter what, Dave Chaffee, good sportsman,
Well, there must
good
be
arm
there
wrestler,
must be a
very
reason.
strong.
There must be a reason that people
It's
think
these.
that. I don't know.
It's these stupid Eastern Europeans.
So they're stupid too. I'm stupid, and all the Eastern.
It's
now
just
you're calling all the
likes
Eastern Europeans
attract
stupid.
each other.
That's
Okay,
a solid
so
thing to say,
you
Devon. Nice.
you have this appeal to these meatheads. Okay, you're like the meathead overlord.
the meat, the meathead overlord.
Yeah, and you see they're like, oh, Dave Chaffee strong. Anything where Dave Chaffee got cheated, Dave Chaffee got robbed. Like any battle of straight up strength, Dave Chaffee win, Dave Chaffee cheated. And they create this narrative, and they're trying to redefine the sport where it's like a bench press competition. You notice that?
I mean, there's not redefining a sport. I'm pretty sure arm wrestling for many years is pretty much a strength sport with technique involved. It's a lot of strength, a lot of technique.
Okay, so when you
So it's nothing
lose,
different.
all these Eastern European like meathead lovers, like somehow they've twist the sport even more to validate your loss is somehow.
Is the Eastern Europeans the only ones that do the rankings? I mean, I don't know. That's what you're saying.
I
They
have
make
no
the
idea,
rankings.
man.
Well,
But it's a phenomenon. I think that it needs to be investigated, both from a psychological and a statistical standpoint. I think that people should really look at it. With all the math that you're practicing, maybe that can be something
Maybe
you do while you're on the job.
get the Royal Mounted
In between
Police to,
beating people up
check
and
this out
stealing
and
the food from the
investigate.
inmates, you can do some math and trying to figure out how these rankings actually
I'll
work.
try to work on that. Yeah.
You got time.
Yeah, I got plenty. Of
Yeah,
time.
you got time.
Yeah.
You say, Devon, that you don't remember when you last lost, or if you did lose back-to-back matches. In all seriousness, you kind of had your next year mapped out. Is there a lot of added pressure on this match because of that?
It's I'm in an interesting spot right now where arm wrestling has really become just a lifestyle for me. For a lot of my life, arm wrestling was my side gig. You know, I was a soldier, I had a lot of commitments, and you know, my kids were younger. I have more time, more freedom, and I basically have the ability now to compete on a way higher frequency. I'm really enjoying it. Now, I'm not viewing things as peaking so much for this and that. It's my lifestyle. I want it to keep rolling forward, but it's crazy, you know. You keep progressing, you keep evolving, and I've found that through this chaos, through this chaotic period, that I am still getting stronger. So yeah, this is a big match. It's for the #1 spot in North America. I really believe that. I know Jerry's spouting off. But I mean, Jerry has a losing record against both of us. So I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, he's had some success, but he hasn't beaten either one of us. But you know, for me, this is the #1 spot in North America, which is a prestigious title. So yeah, it's a big match. Big match.
Do you agree with that, Dave? Because as Devon says, Jerry has to beat the man in theory. He's calling himself #1. Would you agree with that?
100%. Devon's right. Jerry hasn't beaten me, hasn't beaten Devon. He's a great competitor. He's beaten a lot of different guys, but he's going to have to beat one of us to be considered, you know, top of North America. But he's definitely not quite there yet. But me or Devon is going to take that spot on Saturday.
And Devon dropped down to heavyweight from super heavyweight, found success there. Would you also ever consider doing that? And what's your opinion of Devon dropping down like that? Do you feel that he did that to get slightly easier matches and it's more difficult to stay in there super heavyweight, or is that something you consider yourself doing?
I mean, in the past, he did it to get slightly easier matches. We know that back in WL, but I don't think he did it this time. I think he cut down. Prudnick is not an easy match for anybody at all, so I definitely I have no criticism on him cutting weight for that match whatsoever. I used to cut weight when I first started. You know, I used to pull, it was 242, it was 110 kilograms, but I would weigh like 260, and I would cut down to 242. I had some success doing it. It's just, I'm not saying I wouldn't do it again because it's possible, but it's a miserable part of the sport is cutting weight and dieting, and I hate doing it, but it's possible.
Do you think it's been a problem for you, Devon, then putting weight back on after pulling at heavyweight?
No, you know, I actually really love this spot, and if there was more activity in the heavyweight, I'd probably stay there. I love the heavyweight division. It's really my most competitive division. You know, I walk around about, when I'm just kind of being somewhat normal, 270 pounds, 275. This is something I can maintain all year round without any difficulty. So for me to pop down a 253 is very easy. I mean, you know, when it comes to a 20-pound water cut when you're 250, 270 pounds, it's very easy, very achievable. And, you know, that line in the sand is really nice in modern arm wrestling when you're dealing, like if you want to be the best in the super heavyweight division, I mean, there is a lot of horsepower. And when you're talking a lifetime career, it's nice to have that line where you can kind of suck back, because the super heavyweight is wild, man. Like in the sport of arm wrestling, the super heavyweight division is unreal, the amount of strength that is in there. So, you know, for me to be relevant in the super heavyweight and have the ability to pop down a heavyweight, I love this spot. I think that Dave should do it too, to be quite honest with you. I think that he's in an ideal spot. Like, we're both basically the same weight for this.
Yeah.
Like, I think we're a couple pounds difference, and I think I'm actually a little bit bigger than you.
You are a couple,
Which is
you're
crazy.
2 pounds heavier, I think.
It's crazy, right? I'm in jeans, whatever, but it's pretty close.
Well,
basically,
give it the jeans.
basically the same size for this one. So I'm sure you could cut to heavyweight without any issue. But the biggest crown is always the super heavyweight. It's always the open. You're always going to be tempted by that as an arm wrestler, no matter what your weight is. There's always your weight class, and then there's the open division.
Plus, right now, the super heavyweights, I think right now, compared to any other time, it's unbelievable.
Ridiculous.
The amount of talent in the super heavyweights. It's
Super
crazy.
heavyweight division now is something the sport has never seen, like in my lifetime. I mean, I remember in 2008, 2000, even earlier. I mean, you could have a guy who was 250 pounds, 230 pounds, 240 pounds, potentially be the guy.
Yeah, not anymore.
There's no chance.
No.
There's no chance. People talk about a prime John. People talk, no. The sport has definitely
It's
changed.
too big, too strong,
Definitely changed, yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, you get a 400, 350, 300 plus pound arm wrestler who's an athlete.
Yeah.
Before every match, every opponent, you're known for laying into your opponents verbally. I've never really heard somebody come back at you in a kind of personal way. Usually they just say, be ready at the table, we'll see. But Dave's kind of fought fire with fire on this one. How have you felt about that? Were you surprised that he's done that? And if you like been on the receiving end of your own medicine, has that had any effect on your psychology for this?
Makes me so happy. Really, it makes me so happy because what it means to me is more chips on the table. You know, if I put chips on the table and the other person doesn't want to bet, it is what it is. The bet stands. I put in chips, Dave puts in chips. The pile gets bigger, and the win means more. Yeah, it's a bigger win. Bigger win when both guys are believing. But I don't think Dave really does. I think he's just, I don't know. I think somebody talked him into it, quite honestly. I think.
Talked me into what?
Saying stuff.
Oh, no, you did.
I don't
when
think
you, when
really.
you called me dumb, that's what started it.
Is that what it is?
That's what, oh, yeah, that's what
That-
started
that
it.
rubbed you a bit?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
You started calling me dumb. I was like, you know what? Last time around, I took it. This time, I was like, you know what? He deserves a bit of his own medicine,
Yeah.
so I figured I'd start dishing out a little bit. Yeah, so that's how that started.
You know, I remember, we just watched that video. I remember mid-match thinking, man, this guy's dumb. I remember it.
Well, watching it, doing the same thing, I can see why you would think that. I probably should have switched something up. But
I was like,
it happens,
wow. I'm like, this guy could beat me any second. But he's so dumb.
Yeah, I've learned a few things since then, so we'll see.
Which of you guys has the better overall career record?
Dave's done very well. He's done very well.
Better than you?
I mean, Devon's been pulling longer, so he probably has more wins and stuff like that, I would say. He started, 99 or something like that before that?
Earlier than that, yeah.
Yeah, so
I started in like, I've started my career in like 93, 94. So I got a few years on you.
yeah, so I started 2006.
That's longevity, but overall, you've both still been around a long time. If you were to talk your places in history, do you rank yourself above Devon or below him?
I'm not the person that's going to rank myself above or below somebody. I've had great careers, and I'm happy to be here right now, pulling him in Dubai, and I'm looking forward to this match.
You see it the same way, Dev?
I think it's very obvious where things are, and I don't really need to talk about it. But I mean, anybody who's paying attention, knows what the answers are.
Is it fair to say that you guys respect each other fully as arm wrestlers, but are just very different in your outlook in terms of perhaps life or how to go about dealing with matches and the build-up?
Yeah, I respect Devon as an arm wrestler. I don't agree with some of the things that he does or how he acts, but as an arm wrestler, 100% respect.
Yeah, Dave's a good guy. He's a good dude. He's a good guy. I like to fight with you, Dave. I enjoy it a lot.
Talk about the other two matches on the card. We've got Engin making his return against Coach Ray. Engin has to go in as favourite, but there's a lot of unknowns for him and for the fans. Do you guys give Coach Ray a chance?
Yeah, I give him a chance.
I definitely give Ray a chance. We don't know 100% where Engin is at right now. You know, if it's Engin of years past, yeah, Engin's 100% favorite, but I would never ever count Coach Ray out of a match.
Engin's a very busy guy, very, very busy human being. With Engin is doing so many things for the sport, and for him to kind of dip his feet back in the athletic side of it, he's definitely not made it his priority. I think that he's really probably only given a couple months.
Yeah, it hasn't been long.
Not long.
Yeah.
How far can you come in a couple months?
Yeah, it takes time to come back.
I'll tell you, anybody who is not following close and looks at him, Engin, when you go off his achievements, it's not close. Like what Engin has done over his career, it's not the same. But right now, today, Coach Ray is probably the best he's ever been. He's trained up for this match. He'll be in great shape. I'll tell you, if the match stops, Engin's in big trouble. Huge trouble.
Cardio-wise.
Yeah.
Who knows where that's at?
Yeah, he's got to be. Like in terms of durability, in terms of setup, intelligence, efficiency, Engin, hands down. That match stops. It starts to become about physicality. It starts to get messy.
Could be interesting.
Especially 6.
Yeah.
If it's a 7th round, I'm gonna say that Ray's gonna beat him.
It's very possible.
Yeah, but odds are Engin is probably still the 65-35 favorite, I'd say.
Definitely a favorite.
Yeah.
But
And then Morozov, a bit like Levon on the right hand, people are starting to kind of paint Morozov as invincible on the left, but we all know in arm wrestling there's no such thing. Corey and Morozov got an opponent in common in Cody Merritt, who perhaps Corey did better against than Morozov. So how do you see that match going?
that's a tough one. Morozov is only getting better by the day. He's young, powerful. He's really versatile on the table. He's smart. He's actually a really smart arm wrestler. I've pulled him. He's really good. I pulled his right hand. On the other hand, Corey's so powerful. I would never ever count him out of any match either. He's so strong. I think Corey's a little bit of an underdog, but I think that it's going to be a better match than some people think.
I think you got two guys with massive talent. So many ways you look at it, these guys are both so gifted. To me, the biggest difference is the level of investment and professionalism. The way I see Artem is the guy is dialed in. I don't know his full story, but I'm looking at him and he looks full time to me. Like
100%.
I don't think he's working. I think he is training.
Certainly what it looks like.
Yeah, I don't think that dude has, like, I think he's a pro arm wrestler through and through and through and through. And Corey is working a lot.
A lot.
You know, he's got a lot of stuff, real world stuff. And I think that might be the biggest difference at this point in their career. You give Corey a few years, and if he can get
if he
to
sticks
that,
with it, and
if he
absolutely.
can get to that level in his life where he's like a pro arm wrestler, it'll be
His left is strong.
stupid
I
strong.
was lucky enough to pull him before he was starting to get good, so real good.
Okay, guys, I think that covers everything. We just want to wish you both a lot of luck for Saturday night,
Thank you, appreciate it.
and may the best man win.
Thanks.